I'll start by preparing the Mediterranean ice cream cake. In this dessert, we find the combination of two different aromatic components. On one side, almond paste, 1957, the favorite, which will be the defining element of the ice cream in this recipe. On the other side, an Italian semifreddo with a scent of vanilla and citrus. Two chewy components inside the dessert are reconstituted almond shortbread and vanilla meringues that we'll use to finish off the top outer layer of the cake. Inside, everything will be highlighted by the presence of a very thin layer of coffee coulis. For the Mediterranean ice cream cake, I will now move on to preparing the lemon sauce and vanilla semifreddo. Here are the ingredients: pastry cream, lemon juice, and zest, vanilla paste from Madagascar, whipped cream, meringue. I start with the pastry cream, after which the juice and zest of lemon, then the Madagascar vanilla paste, whipped cream, once the whipped cream is incorporated, I can move on to adding the meringue. The semifreddo is ready. Here it is, smooth, velvety, silky, perfectly churned and ready to be placed inside the mold. Now I move on to preparing the almond gelato, which will be the star element of the Mediterranean ice cream cake. I start with a white base, which will be customized in flavor using the paste. Favorite? Almond, 1957. What kind of product is it? It's a paste, almond, first of all, raw. The origin is a Sicilian almond and it has been left with a coarser grain, so it has a rustic texture that's more noticeable on the palate. Almond paste emulsified into the white base. I'm ready for the churning. The almond gelato is ready. I can move on to preparing the insert, which will be the heart of the Mediterranean gelato cake. Ready with the almond gelato insert, I can now move on to the next stage of processing. I have prepared the coffee coulis in advance, stabilized with cold gelée, which will now be portioned into the silicone mold where I will build. Then the Mediterranean gelato cake. At this point, a blast chiller step is needed to solidify the coulis, and I can move on to the next assembly phase. Now I can proceed with constructing the Mediterranean cake. Here, inside the silicone mold, I have already portioned the coffee coulis. It has been placed in the blast chiller, so it has solidified. As a result, I can move on to the final assembly of the cake. I already have ready the Kaposia cream, the Italian-style semifreddo, lemon, and Madagascar vanilla, ready to be portioned into the silicone mold. At this point, I can proceed with adding the almond gelato insert. A final layer of semifreddo, lemon, Madagascar vanilla, and then we can add the reassembled almond brittle, which will be the base of the dessert. Final stage of assembling the Mediterranean cake. We have taken the reassembled almond brittle, I have cooled it down, and I am applying it to the base of the dessert. Good, huh? At this point, I have finished constructing the Mediterranean ice cream cake by adding the reassembled almond shortbread. After that, it goes into the blast chiller at a negative temperature so it can be unmolded and then prepared for the finishing touches. I am ready for the final presentation. Do I have everything here? The caramel glaze is ready. The Mediterranean ice cream cake has been unmolded after chilling at a negative temperature. I can move on to the final stage. The dessert is ready, so I can proceed to the final decoration phase. drops of vanilla meringue, a sprinkle of crumble, and drops of coffee coulis. So all the elements of the dessert are also found as decorations on the top. The final decorative element, riposo, drops of coffee, coulis. 2 gold leaves as the finishing decorative touch. Here it is, Mediterranean ice cream cake, a combination of almond 1957 gelato and an Italian semifreddo scented with lemon and Madagascar vanilla.